Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ascension Report, the Ascension series. It's like an Ascension series. Um, just opening up to talking a bit more about this because I realized that everything right now is about this. Everything right now is about the changes that are happening in your world, in your reality, and everything ties to Ascension. So, if you're going through changes, if you're going through a lot of emotions, if you're going through the shifts and the turns and the transition points, you're in ascension. You are in your ascension journey. So welcome. For those that have been consciously ascending, things will continue to open up. Things will continue to intensify in some ways and soften in many, 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 many others. There's a couple of things that I wanted to come in that I wanted to share today, but I don't have them written down, so I'm just gonna go with the flow of how things align. Got my little beautiful Andara set and uh, lined up here. Got the the pair of kittens um, jumping and tossing and playing. Got these beautiful birds singing away. Absolutely magical. And it's actually forecast. I felt some drops earlier. It's just so beautiful. Um, there's a lot of changes happening right now, and I keep seeing more and more and more of them in every way. Um, Beautiful changes, beautiful alignments happening, but there's also a lot of alignments that our linear mind isn't fully ready for, isn't fully in the know of why things are happening. I get a kick of how high they've been jumping, these little kittens. It's so crazy cool. Just, they just jump really high. So I see it a lot in my reality. Yesterday we went out to eat, and there was there were parts within the highway that we were driving on that were empty, just empty. And that was not the case 5 years ago. Eh, so San Antonio is like the ninth largest city in the US. So Sundays might be, obviously there's less traffic, but there were always cars all around, especially like the highway. And obviously pandemic hit and that totally changed. But I remember that I used to come back, visit end of 21 and then 22. And I've always come every year, at least twice a year to visit. And I was so amazed and so shocked at just how much the traffic had decreased. And it's obviously picked up a little bit, but yesterday it was like very noticeable and it was very like even on Sundays, there wasn't this few cars on the road. So that was that. And then we go to a chain restaurant, pretty well known, and empty. The air conditioner wasn't working. So it was like, it was hot. Like it was bearable for me, but it was considerably hot. And normally when we go inside any establishment here, they just turn up the AC so high that you literally need a sweater. And so that was interesting. Um, all of these little things and you know that I see that are in my reality that I get to experience really show me and confirm just how much things are changing. In fact, I think um, my father had mentioned that a few years his company had declared bankruptcy, but I think it's still kind of trying to stay afloat. And yesterday was very obvious that they're going through some things. So the shifts and the realignments that I'm seeing all around me, all in my experience and my reality, are definitely big wake up calls, big like alarms that tell me how much the world is actually shifting. And I had a conversation maybe a few weeks ago with a sister of mine, and we were just saying how like how everything's kind of flipping. And I know some people are still kind of not yet seeing it fully, but there's a shift in how much our realities are becoming a lot smoother, how our realities are becoming a lot a lot simpler, and many people are having the opposite. Intense, very intense, lots and lots of changes, lots of different helicopter, lots of transitions, lots of um lots of things rocking their boat. And I saw a really neat quote the other day. It was in Spanish, and basically it said something along the lines of like um crises don't really exist. And now it's drizzling, it's beautiful. Crises don't really exist. Changes happen. And when people aren't, might have to shift here. When people don't accept, allow, go with the flow, go with the change, then they enter into a crisis. So it was very fascinating when I heard this because it's true. Life will always have changes. Change is the only constant in life. And when our mind is all wrapped up in it, doesn't want to accept it, is resisting it, is fighting it, that's when we enter into a crisis. That's part of the reason why a lot of us, will share and will remind everyone to just go with the flow. Just continue to open up, just continue to be present and notice where you might still be resisting. Notice where in your body you're still fighting. Notice these energies, the deep core subconscious energies, where they're still in you so that you can continually Allow more light. Let the light shift those frequencies so that you can come into this new flow. And so, it's very, this is why Ascension fascinates me. But don't get me wrong, there are some things that they're super quantum, they are complex. There's more that meets the eye. So there's this flow. And we are so multidimensional, guys, that just brings a layer of like how multidimensional everything is. There will be a flow. There will be a moment where you'll just go with the flow. Well, you're getting anchored in that non-resistance, that just going the flow, just being and just letting things, change on their own. But simultaneously, there's also going to be a higher self aspect inside that is being birthed, that's emerging inside of you. And the higher self aspect is a higher mind, higher heart. It's like this triangle. Higher self, higher mind, and higher heart. This aspect is ready to be more conscious of the structure of the reality. This aspect will be more in command. This aspect, this is the sixth dimensional aspect, by the way. The fifth dimensional aspect of ourselves is the one that's like, let's just go with the flow. Let's just be, let's just be present, which is a very important aspect. This is your divine feminine aspect. This is a Christed aspect. This is the most important one because it does come first in a way. Um, but then as you continue to anchor that more, your sixth dimensional aspect will start to activate too. And your sixth dimensional aspect is more of like the galactic aspect, the doer, the builder, the master builder, the master. The master in command. This aspect will start to come through as well. And this is where this new aspect is going to come through and is going to start to be more conscious of this process, be more conscious of, okay, what is it that I need? What is it that needs to get done? What is it that I need to do? What is it that needs to that we need to accomplish? What is it that we need in our reality to fully support us, to allow more of this, more physical bad, more energetic, um, more energies in order to, you know, live that mission. Your sixth dimensional aspect is more mission oriented, right? Go, get her done energy, the get her done energy. Um, the fifth dimensional aspect is a being, is a pure present. There really isn't much to do. And it's interesting because I've been teeter tottering. I've been in this like seesaw of this frequency for years now. I really feel this is why a lot of the times what comes through for me is we haven't even gotten started. I haven't even gotten started. There's a lot of that energy. There's a lot of new realizations that have been coming through me as well of like the lack inside of me, not enough self-confidence, not enough self, worth, not enough this, not enough that, which has been a big realization, even though I know that I've been working through this energy in layers, right, for years now. But it just kind of hits harder. There are moments where it's like, oh, this is a big one. And this has been in the way of me, going bigger or sharing more or expanding more in so many different ways. So it's really fascinating. I'm always really fascinated about all of these things, but there are new realizations coming through that are also supporting me and supporting many other people too in this new energy, this new embodiment. We're shifting a lot of us. Everyone will be where they are and it's perfect. Okay. There, I'm kind of in the beginning phases of it. But I'm feeling it more and more and more where the sixth dimensional is like, okay, it's gonna be time to really get in gear and really time to really and get up and moving. Get up and really being in that doing phase, but all from pure presence. And this is part of the reason why it takes years um to continually anchor that being state, continually anchor deeper into that Christed state, into that divine feminine state. Because we're so separated and there's so many distortions along that go along with it. So don't be discouraged because this does take many years. But there is this beauty that comes through in every way, the softness, the love, the surrendering to it all is a beautiful feeling the more that you allow yourself to connect to that. So moving into more of this like moving more into this sort of clarity. And I yesterday, YouTube has been interesting lately. I actually I uninstalled it because my niece wanted me to install something else. So I uninstalled the YouTube. Well, actually, this was maybe a couple weeks ago. I uninstalled YouTube and then I reinstalled it, and then yesterday, 2 days ago, uninstalled it, reinstalled it again. So it kind of clears a lot of energies when you do that, by the way. And so yesterday, I saw this video of someone. I've never seen this person. It was it was a video that popped up in my feed of someone that for the very first time. And it was beautiful because she was talking about um really having this sense of clarity in her she probably called it purpose, mission, I'll say mission in life. And she even said it, every time that I kind of like deviate and I go into other themes and I talk about other topics, there always seems to be this pull or there always seems to be something missing. And so it was really interesting because she I don't know exactly what she is, but she talks a lot about ancient Egypt. And so in this video, she was like, I've now realized that this is it. This is it. This is what fills me. This is what I love. This is my passion project. Talk ab- to talk about ancient Egypt, which is even more fascinating because it was like, oh my God, and so many new things are coming up about the pyramids, right? That's really fascinating. So it was very, very cool to see this confirmation of how many more people in the collective, in my collective, are coming into the sense of clarity of like, this is it. This is my meat and potatoes. This is where I want to focus. This is where I want to really bring forth, like zone in and expand. And it was fascinating because she even, and it's in fact the channel's decoding ancient Egypt. She rebranded it. And I was like, oh, it's kind of my language. And it was like, I don't even really know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this channel. I don't know anything about her. I just thought it was so cool that I got presented with, this opportunity to see that particular video about her rebranding and just how kind of her journey and coming into the space where she realized like this is it, you know. There wasn't as much clarity before. She was kind of playing around with the things. And this isn't to say that, like, it's actually really normal for us to play around with other things. They might come back around in a whole new way. We might be able to, like, bridge all of those together at some point. But but talking about her, she was like, but this is it. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I want to continue to dissect. This is what I want to continue to bring through and bring forth, and my experiences and all of these, her knowledge. It was really, really cool. And I felt this, again, there was a confirmation of what's happening collective, but I also felt very connected to her because there was a lot of similarities. Because I've been also kind of feeling that. For me, it's more about, the ascension process, talking more about the ascension, like zoning into this topic. Um, and for me, it does support, or I have to like remind myself that it's like you're not a newbie per se. Like you've been at this for now 9 years. And it's so interesting, and I was going to talk about this a little bit. Um, it's no coincidence. I'm coming into, and the birds are reaffirming this too. 9 years ago, 2016, I have my galactic awakening. Oh, interesting. Had my galactic awakening mid-February. And then things moved really, really fast after that. So, and I don't know if I've shared this publicly, but mid-February, had a huge awakening. Shortly after that, it was like diving into ascension topics, new earth, 5D, fifth dimension, channelings, all of these different things. Um, at the end of March, actually, no, even like before then, early March, I'm like in this idea of like, you know what? I need to quit my job. And I was also at the time I was dating, I was in a long distance relationship. He was gonna come over for the first time to San Antonio. It wasn't the first time we met. We've met before, but he was coming for the first time to meet family, and all of that just kind of like brought me into this decision of like, let's quit, let's just quit. But I know it also had a big what also brought me into that. It was this big, big, big awakening. So I I don't even know if I put in my 2 weeks notice. I think it was like a week and a half or so. Um, End of March, I, um, I quit my job at the end of March. Uh, Boyfriend at the time comes over, actually celebrated his birthday, and then actually broke up. Um, and so everything just kind of happened really fast. Quit my job, and then, ended the relationship, and went even deeper into, the process. So I don't remember what had happened, but my brother-in-law had to go to Mexico for a while, and I think he probably was there for weeks, maybe a month. And so we didn't want my sister to be alone at the house, so I would come every day and I would stay with her in the house. And so, during all of this, it was like, oh, well, what can I do now? And so I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do a meditation. Let's just do a meditation online. And I remember my first online meditation I did um, May back in 2016. I don't remember it was May 26 or May 16. It was one of those two dates. But I remember I was like, where am I gonna do it? And my nieces were small, so it was like, baby noise a lot of baby noise. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do it in front of their house. I had a little bench, or I still have a little bench, and I did it there. And I didn't even really think about it until I don't know when. It was like, I'm gonna be in the same house, you know, for this 9-year anniversary. And even the other day, I was out there looking at the bench. I was like, I remember how I was sitting. I remember having my laptop on my legs. I remember even, hearing my baby nieces faintly inside. And I was like, wow, this is a big closure for me because we weren't really even supposed to be here that long. But now that we are, it's like I get to be in the same house, the same location where this started, where this meditation started, with where, my online meditation journey started. And it's so fascinating. And I'm still kind of dissecting it and just feeling into this is a big closure. But at the same time, it's a big opening for me to continue to run with it. And for those of you that may or may not know, I've been kind of going back into that meditation. I love doing it. I love doing the meditations. I love hosting it. I love where it takes me. I know. It's, it's so beautiful. Look at the skies. All cloudy. It's it's a big it's a big cycle that is completing for me. Um being now, like completing this 9-year cycle, being, that much further along, or being where I am, doesn't matter where, but being, um, like having those, yeah, that experience now, having reached certain levels of ascension, and now moving into like, now it's time to like really kick on the gears, really start to open up more, really start to get that higher higher self, sixth dimensional self active, to bring through more things, to open up more in a whole new way that I have not experienced before. Is I'm taking it in, like I'm still taking it in, because it feels very, very deep. And I know that a lot of people, like I mentioned, as it's been confirmed, a lot of people are getting into that more clarity, more confirmation of what to focus on, what to do, on the things to be more present about. Um, Many more people are going to continually open up to this journey. Many, many, many more people are going to continually wake up. Okay. And I talked about this in my last video for those of you that may or may not have watched it, these 9 years that we're completing have shifted the spiritual community, the collectives into conscious ascension, consciously ascending, consciously or knowing more about ascension. These next 9 years are going to deepen that for us, but at the same time, there's going to be, this is where mass collectives are going to continually open up, are going to continue to we're going to see more and more collectives awakening, much more than before. Okay, remember this will continue to transpire in the next 9 years. Okay, I don't want to get too caught up in like years, like this year or next year. Like we have another 9 year cycle too that we're moving into. We're closing this one and we're moving into this next 9 year cycle. So much more than what we've experienced will continue to transpire. And that's one of the biggest things that I feel, even like right now, as I say this, is this continual preparation. This year is going to be a huge, or it's going to be huge because of the level of preparation that we're going to continue to experience. The level of preparation, new realizations, the shifts and the changes, the realities that are going to come through are going to be big, and they're going to set the stage for the incoming years. So if you're still in this, well, I haven't really gotten this clarity, I'm still not where I want to, my reality hasn't, it's not kind of the way that I want to see it, just know that it's coming. Just know that it's almost like you're right, or you're right behind me, like it's coming. We are the way showers for a reason. We are the trailblazers, right? The ones that experience things first, that say, hey, this is coming. Continue to stay the course, continue to be fully invested. And that's actually what's happening. We have to be fully invested in the ascension process. That will look different for every single one of us, but not really. Like the being that invested will mean making and allowing a lot of different changes in many different ways and in every aspect of our reality. Okay. The ones that have already or have been doing this, have been, taking those big steps and big decisions, are here to guide you through this, are here to support you in this process, to remind you you're not alone in this. Every single person will continue to go through a lot of different changes and will continue to feel a lot of different things. So you're definitely not alone in this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then let everything else in the external, quote unquote external, like let everything else flow. Continue to allow your body to flow, and then continue to also feel and hear more of that higher self aspect that may be opening up a little bit more to get you to open up to this new aspect, the commander aspect, the masterful aspect, the your ascended master aspect, that will start to be a little bit more in command and a little bit more into this. It will be more in this This needs to get done. I need this. I need this level of support. Let's bring that forth and continue to open up to the guidance, to the steps, to all of these different things, keys and codes that will come through you in order for you to make that a reality or allow that into your reality. So, I'm gonna end with that. Um, let me know where you are in your process. You're more than welcome to share. If you've been going also through that like deeper sense of clarity, even deeper sense of peace. In order to receive more clarity, there is a deepening of your sense of peace that will continue to come through first, right? It's like somebody had mentioned, like, you cannot receive a lot of clarity if there's anxiousness, if your waters are disturbed, right? If there's a lot of like moving anxiousness within your waters, there's not going to be a lot of clarity. So peace has to come through. And we have to continually anchor in that peace more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper in order for more clarity to come through. So if you're there, it's totally normal and it's totally valid. So you're welcome to share where you are. You're welcome to share um, anything that you feel highest to share, really, as it really all supports in some way. So, sending you much love, sending you much peace. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being here. Oh, last but not least, I do have a clear meditation series this week. So I'll be doing 4 meditations um, each day for those that would like to join us. And I'll put more in the comments below with a link, how the price exchange, um, all that good stuff. And I'll be sharing more in due time. So thank you again. Much love. Take care.